Hey everyone, and welcome to Boston Autoblog. I think it goes without saying that when Ford decided to get rid of all their cars, that really shocked the automotive industry. We knew this was coming, we knew that crossovers were taking over in the United States, but I don't think we were prepared for this to happen so soon. Over the last 10 years, the Ford Escape has become the best-selling crossover in the Ford lineup. And moving forward, this vehicle is now going to be relied upon to not only bring in most of the sales for the Ford brand, but also to take on the Honda CR-V and Toyota RAV4. Now with that all being said, we're going to check out the all-new 2020 Ford Escape. I've been waiting to do this review since I first saw the vehicle in New York at the auto show. Unfortunately, I couldn't spend too much time with it back then because every journalist in the building wanted to check it out. So there's a lot of intrigue and excitement behind this vehicle, and today we're going to find out why. Now before I get in this review, I'd like to thank Muzi Ford in Needham, Massachusetts for allowing me to do this review. The link will be in the description below so you can check out their extensive Ford inventory. And so, without wasting any further time, let's get right in this review. To say the 2020 Ford Escape underwent a complete overhaul would be an understatement, as everything from the body lines, front and rear fascias, and the interior shared no resemblance to the 2019 model year. Despite the third generation lasting 6 years, the road presence aged rapidly, and with this segment of crossovers replacing the family sedan, a striking design could determine who ends up on top in the first half of next decade. For the Escape, Ford is betting solely on this vehicle to replace the cars that are no longer in production for the US market. And as we're going to see once we step inside, maximizing the cabin space to make this crossover more practical certainly took precedence. Starting up front, the Escape has been molded and shaped to resemble car-like features, with a more rounded fascia and moving further away from the square and boxy look of the last generation. A new black mesh grille, LED headlights, and fog lamps will be the first details you'll notice. It could be argued that Ford is trying to blur the lines, as the Escape now looks very similar to the Ford Focus we no longer get here in the US. This cosmetic change not only is brand new, but it's exclusive to the Escape, and doesn't look like a trimmed down version of the Edge or Explorer, which other brands have been known to do with their lineups to make all vehicles share design features. The Escape we have today is a titanium, which means you'll get 19-inch machine-face aluminum wheels coming standard, along with heated side mirrors with integrated turn signal indicators. Coming around back, a new rear end and C-pillar design helps complete the overall look of the Escape. Dual exhaust tips, LED taillights, and new lettering gives this crossover more of a trendy and modern look that falls right in line with most of its competitors' recent refreshes. In terms of dimensions, the 2020 Escape has gained just over 3 inches in length, but has trimmed down a bit by 1 inch, translating to more interior room and outwardly making this crossover more sleek in the process. I really want to focus on the side profile for a minute because this is really where the road presence, in my opinion, is most significantly changed from last generation. We could spend all our time talking about the front end, the rear end, and how the headlights have 4-point LEDs very similar to a Porsche Macan. But when we come back to the rear, Right here, it reminds me a lot of the Mazda CX-5. And we're seeing a lot of that in the automotive industry right now, where brands are trying to make crossovers in this segment more hatchback-like, a little more cooler, younger, a little more sporty. And I think what Ford has done here is make this vehicle look a lot better than last generation, where the 2019 Escape was boxy, it was old, outdated, and for 2020, you can't say those things. It doesn't have those attributes. It's a much better vehicle overall in terms of design, and it fits right in line with other vehicles in its price range and segment. For performance, this Escape Titanium is powered by a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine that puts out 250 horsepower and 275 pound-feet of torque, and is paired with an 8-speed automatic transmission. All new for the 2020 model year, you can also option for a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder hybrid engine if fuel efficiency is a top priority. By opting for the fully gas-powered Escape, all-wheel drive will come standard, whereas front-wheel drive is your only option when paired with the hybrid. For fuel economy, you can expect to receive 23 miles per gallon in the city and 31 miles per gallon on the highway with a 2-liter turbo engine. Stepping inside, you're greeted by an all-new interior that shares nothing in common with last generation. Power-adjustable heated leather trim seats come standard on the Titanium, along with the upgraded 10-speaker Bang & Olufsen audio system. Technology features that we first saw on the Explorer now makes its way into the Escape, as you get a 12-inch digital information display that replaces the analog gauges found in last year's model. From here, you can check a variety of information, from fuel economy to tire pressure, by using the buttons mounted on your heated, leather-wrapped steering wheel. By going digital, Ford is offering a driving experience that's on par with rivals, while also providing technology found in luxury vehicles. Also a cool new feature that's part of the Titanium Premium package is your head-up display that pops up when you turn the car on. From here, you'll see your digital speedometer, so you can spend more time focused on the road. Moving over to the infotainment system, an 8-inch touchscreen with onboard navigation and Apple CarPlay and Android Auto compatibility is the new look for most Ford products moving forward. You'll still get Ford's Sync 3 system, which is responsive, and with a new facelift, resolution has improved from the 2019 model. You get a rear backup camera with trajectory, along with front and rear parking sensors. As we look down towards the center console, you'll find the buttons for your dual-zone climate control and heated seats. Below that, there's a compartment big enough to fit at least 2 smartphones, along with a USB-C input and a 12-volt outlet. For 2020, a rotary dial replaces the gearshift lever, adding more arm and storage room up front. You have a drive mode selector in which you can choose from Eco, Normal, Sport, Slippery, and Snow to help take on adverse road conditions or fit your preferred driving style. For the center storage compartment, there's plenty of room for small items and a smartphone, and there will also be an additional USB input. Now, what's one of the biggest complaints we hear in the automotive industry? Rear legroom. Doesn't really matter what segment you're in or what price range, someone is always complaining. But Ford has you covered. The rear seats are adjustable, so now I have plenty of room to move my legs. In fact, I probably have too much room because I can't really extend them much further than this. But for someone around 6 foot tall, they now have extra room back here. But this is an ingenious design, because say you have shorter passengers, they can adjust their seat a little bit further, they still have room, and you now have extra cargo space in the back. So it maximizes the rear cargo room without having to fold the seats if you have passengers in the back. I just think it's a really great design. Also, the middle hump isn't so aggressive where this is uncomfortable. I've been in vehicles where I have literally no room in the center. So if you do have a passenger that's around 5'5", and you have 3 passengers overall, put that person in the middle and you can fit 5 passengers, or fit 3 passengers in the back and 5 passengers overall. I think this is a great design, definitely works. And then also, just like with the 60-40 split with the folding seats, it's the same way with the adjustability. So overall, I think this is a great design, and you won't find this amount of adjustability with other vehicles in this price range and this segment. Now, unlike most of my reviews where I gloss over the rear cargo space, I really want to talk about some of the changes that were made to the method to calculate rear cargo room. And the Ford Escape is actually the first vehicle that I'm encountering that's falling victim to this. Now, for the 2020 model year, you're going to get 65.5 cubic feet of rear cargo room with the rear seats folded down. But for the 2019 model year, you got 68.5 cubic feet. So there's a discrepancy of 3 cubic feet, which makes absolutely no sense because the 2020 model year is 4 inches longer than last generation. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because when I was researching the Escape, there were other websites cross-shopping this with a 2019 model year CRV. And there was a vast difference in cubic feet and cargo room, which is to be expected. When one vehicle's on the old method and the other one's on the new, there's going to be major differences. And the problem I'm seeing right now is that a lot of websites are saying, well, the Escape isn't as large and isn't as practical as its competitors, which is not accurate. There's a lot of misinformation going on out there on the websites and in the industry because no one's bringing this up, that there were changes made. So I would say if we apply the old method, the Escape is probably closer to 70 cubic feet of rear cargo space, which falls right in line with its main competitors. Now, with that all being said, definitely do your research when cross-shopping vehicles, particularly a 2018 versus 2020, because for the 2020 model years, especially for the vehicles that are on new platforms and generations, they have the new calculations and new methods applied to get the rear cargo room in the back. So definitely don't be deceived when you're buying a vehicle, and definitely, without a doubt, do your research so you don't make a bad decision when you're looking for a new crossover. Now, at the end of the day, my feelings towards the Ford Escape are very similar to how I felt with the Ford Explorer. That all the changes Ford made were necessary and to help the driving experience and daily driving aspects that car owners and passengers will have to deal with on a daily basis. The fact that the rear seats are adjustable the way they are, and that people who are taller can have a little more leg room, I really think that someone around 6 foot tall would be comfortable back there. And I can't say that all the time with most vehicles in this price range and segment. So that's actually really impressive, but also to have that extra cargo room, and then it just creates a lot more practicality in my opinion. Now, I also can appreciate what Ford is doing here with the interior. It's a little bit different than the Ford Explorer. That's understandably so, just because the Explorer is a more expensive vehicle and the Escape is more affordable. However, the push button start is in a different location. Also, I feel like the button layout is a little bit lower than in the Explorer. But one thing I will say is that where Ford has gone is a lot more upscale. This is so much better than last generation. You have a place to put your iPhone. Actually, you probably fit 2 or 3 there. You have your USB input, 12-volt outlet. And then also, because they got rid of the gear shift lever, there's a little more arm room as well. And I talked about that in the Ford Explorer. I know a lot of people don't like that. A lot of car enthusiasts and even just regular car buyers don't like it, but it makes sense because it opens up more room. You also have a lot more room when it comes to your center console and your center storage compartment. And then what I like too is that this vehicle has different drive modes as well. So you can go sport, eco, slippery, and deep snow and sand. So I like that Ford is still putting that in this vehicle. And I also like the fact that you can also get a 12-inch digital information display. That's pretty cool to see at a vehicle that you could get for around $33,000. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Also, once again, huge thank you to Muzi Ford. I've been working with them for almost 2 years now, and it means a lot that I can still come back here and film reviews of new vehicles that arrive at the dealership. We've built a pretty good relationship over the last 2 years, and it really means a lot to me to have a dealership that I can come back to when new vehicles arrive. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys next time.